I was just thinking about where we live, what year it is, 2020. It's fucking 2020. It's about to be winter. January 2020. New World Order shit. And I'm sick of seeing people on these videos with these cops who are just blowing motherfuckers away and don't fucking move, I'll blow your fucking head off. Oh yeah, he's a criminal. He deserves that. Hey, you know what? You all can be criminalized, motherfuckers. Just because you motherfuckers happen to live in a time where there wasn't a police state, these motherfucking police are trained and jacked. These are motherfuckers that are they're paramilitary. And they got a dungeon in every fucking city in Chicago. We got so many dungeons. This is what I call police stations. They're just dungeons. Human cattle processing centers. They got it. It's a system, a gulag system. You don't think the police stations and the county jails and the penitentiary and the federal penitentiary systems are a gulag system? Just wait. You motherfuckers are all gonna die one way or another, so stop fucking being so fucking smug and shit. This fucking dog. You motherfuckers are all gonna die, but they say men's hearts will fail from fucking foreseeing what's coming on the earth. Their hearts will just fail. Dude, it takes a man one day of hunger and he's a whole different person. You'll start eating these. Start eating seeds and shit. Start eating leaves. Start eating bark. Start eating flesh. People on ships and boats, people stranded at sea, takes them about a week. Hardened men. Like the one guy was sailors, Marines. These are men took an oath to their brothers. They will eat their brothers. In 1 week. Give them 10 days. Fine, give them 2 weeks. The Downer Pass episode. They were literally 2 weeks to remove the fucking bodies after they lopped off a fucking hunk of flesh. That was their family. And it was weird too when they got down to the statistics of the Donner Party. Certain families did survive better than others. One family just lost everybody. Leadership in times of hunger is very important. Your whole family got wiped off, Jack. And that's just from going from Illinois to motherfucking California on the wrong road. With the whole country looking for you to save you. Imagine the whole country looking for you to kill you. The United States is a fucking murder zone, bro. This is a fucking murder zone. Murderville. They wiped out the Indians. I mean, what makes you think you're so special? It's a statistical miracle your bitch ass is still alive right now. With all the fucking... Just think about that. Think to yourself, how did my soul come into my body for some young lady who was my mother? She was 20 years old to become pregnant, and her mother to become pregnant at age 20, whatever. They were both in their 20s. Lead to my dumbass, bullets whizzing past your head, all this other shit, and you're lucky enough to be here, and I should be on my knees every day, all day, praising the Lord, worshiping. But I don't. Just like people should quit smoking. They don't. Hey, Turbo, come here. So what happens when they pull the fucking... Okay, so I'm going to tell you what streets I live by. I'm going to tell you across the street that's about 2 miles from here. A mile. Ashland Avenue and 127th Street South. 127th South Chicago. Hey! Don't go far. I'm not going to not let him be a dog. He wants to go say hi to his little dog friend. Hopefully nothing horrible happens. So, now imagine Now imagine they pull the plug. I'm on 127th in Ashland, South Chicago, as south as you can get. There's projects down the street, what they call them projects? Altgeld Gardens. We got a river right here with no fish. Most polluted river in the world right there. Calumet. A little bit of woods. Not a lot. Not enough to get lost in. Enough for a dog to get lost in, but not enough for you to fucking hide out in. This motherfucker will be transporting fucking military equipment and shit like that. Like, it's a transport. This is the Calumet. It was used by the French before the English won the war. What was that, 1812? I don't know. The country's only 200 years old, and this is where we're at. Trans babies, homosexuality. I mean, look at what they're doing to the human race. Meanwhile, okay, now they're putting cameras. They've been putting cameras. But now they've got this camera network, and they've got Wi-Fi, and they got cameras on cars, and all this shit. I think so that when they pull the plug, they get to sit back and watch the carnage. Every city, every hood has cameras. I've drove through South Chicago, every fucking major intersection. I can't say every single block, there's too many. I'd say about 40% of every block I've been on. If you were to show a map of where my feet have been, or me in a vehicle, I've been in the whole south side. I've been within 90 feet of every inch of dirt. So, are there these great food depositories? And even if there were, which there aren't, they'd be stripped like locusts on a fucking locust within a week. I'd say immediately, and then the food would run out within a week. There'd be no leadership, there'd be no organization, and there'd be chaos and panic. And then there'd be your psychos. Because we've bred psychos. This is why I watch psychos online. What is with these people? Why are they so selfish? Why do they only care about themselves? I mean, they'll kill their mother to get to, something they want that means nothing, money. You don't think these psychos are gonna come out like it's motherfucking playtime? It's go time. This is their time to shine. The amount of guns and ammunition, people's bodies will just be rotting in the gutter. The dogs will eat them. I'm just saying, let's say a week goes by. Okay, a week goes by South Chicago. Now, make things even worse. This is how Chicago looks. You got inner city south side, inner city black, ringed by whites. For some reason, that's just white flight happened, and the white people kind of created a western front or something. To the south, it's nothing but black. What happens when they shut down major intersections or highways? You'd only have to shut down Cicero, Pulaski, Kedzie, if it even runs through, or Dixie. Down here it's called Dixie Highway. Western turns into Dixie. All you would have to do is take this river right here and these bridges, and that's it. Nobody could even go through the forest in between busy streets. This river, you could better get a canoe. It's a hard swim, and anytime other than summer, and it has undercurrents. You'll raft yourself across it if you're hungry enough. I know I would. But in winter, you'll freeze to death. How are you going to take a family across that? All you got to do is lock down 5-6 streets. Boom, done. Everybody remain in your neighborhoods, and then they let it go up, like that movie Purge. Well, these are like predictive programming movies, by the way. Purge. And Trump's banning vapes, that shows me I don't even pay attention to Trump, other than little bits of information about Kushner, or about, he changed the embassy to Jerusalem, or Usually when I hear about Trump, it's something he's doing for the nation of Israel. Or he's banning vapes, or it's some weird shit the left's saying, the communist left of America, that will come out and tell you millions of people need to be murdered and re-educated. They'll just come out and tell you. At least they're not lying. Like Stalin and the Ukraine. They got to be starved to death. Remember the Ukraine? Remember the pictures? No, because they didn't show you, probably. All them people in them fucking, in them work camps, they didn't die from fucking gas. They didn't die from blah, blah, blah this or blah, blah, blah that. That's called starvation. They all were malnourished and starved. Why would you even shoot a person like that? That's a waste of a bullet. You'd have a slave if you had a pocket of gummy bears. They would do anything. If you had a gun and a pocket of ham, you could have that person at gunpoint be your slave. Okay, I'll kill you if you don't, and I'll feed you if you do. You want a bullet or you want a piece of ham? Why would they ever kill millions of people? Them are millions of people that could do something. In war, they take women as sex trophies. Over there in Vietnam, there were some very horrific stories of what Americans, good old boys from Missouri, from Illinois, Ohio, were committing atrocities. Those are good old boys, Marines, thrown in a jungle. But when you break it all down and you don't give them a new pair of clothes or a new pair of socks or a good chain of command, and you add in a jungle, and then you tell them to start killing innocents anyway, well, now our superiors told us to murder all them innocent people. Now the psychos come out. What do you think is gonna happen here? If they build this deck of card, or what was he saying? They build this card house up, right? This paper tiger, whatever you want to call it. This nobody knows how to cook. Nobody knows how to do shit. You could order whatever you want. Fast food was a great thing. Why do you think McDonald's became this big, huge thing? Nobody knows what a home-cooked meal is. A lot of people, I think, do survive in Chicago off gas station items and fried chicken, things of that nature. Now, what happens when you pull the plug and you take the bottom card out and the house of cards falls? I just wonder what that would look like if they put a machine gunner on these bridge streets, these busy streets. They would only need about 6-7 machine gunners. Nobody would break through, and nobody would want to, because just the one machine gunner would be enough, because they'd be like, well, there's probably more machine guns behind that one. I'll stay here and take my chances. I'll survive, or maybe I won't. A lot of people won't. A lot of people will be victimized. Just total monkey anarchy for survival. It will revert back to animals. And then they'll be able to watch it all too. On them cameras, on them satellites. I mean, if they could have Google Earth, you don't think they could look in the satellite and look? I mean, they got a satellite picture of everything. So right now a satellite could be looking at me talking shit. So it's pretty sewn up, this grid. And Chicago is a grid. A grid of blocks. I wonder if we won't see it. See, an old man told me one thing. He said, relax, calm down. Nothing ever happens. I said, nothing ever happens in your life. But what about your parents? There he is. Come here. Okay, stay over here. Nothing ever happens in your life because you miss Vietnam and then it's been relative empire. Yeah, I love America, the man says. I got food in my belly and a roof over my head, and it's an apartment, and he's paying rent, and he's 60. And I say, David, try to empathize. Try to be more empathetic with him. Like, look at it from his point of view. He had some kids, he had a wife, and now he's 60, and it's all behind him, he thinks. 60 years are, at least. And he's never seen some of the shit you've even seen. He's never even been to the Cook County Jail because there were no police when he grew up. He committed more crimes than you did. He drove drunk more times than you did. But he never spent one day in jail, not because this, that, or the other. Because he didn't even have a police station where he lived. You know, they didn't have computers. They didn't have the gulag system. Although Stalin implemented one with paper. I mean, it could be done. Just how bad do you want to do it? And Americans weren't set against Americans back then. Now they're set against each other. You move your motherfucking hands from that steering wheel, I'll shoot you in the fucking head. That's what the police tell people. They would never kill nobody. Even before I was a kid, they would hardly kill anybody. Things are way ratcheted up, man. Way the fuck up. Even in the 90s, when the murders were at their most, the police weren't. The police will beat your ass and lump you up. Pistol whip you maybe if you cause, you know. But they had big ass revolvers and they knew when they let them bitches loose what happened. Now they got these Glocks and shit. But men don't know hunger. That's another thing. Cook County Jail, there's a saying, and they say, it's a black saying, white people don't say it. They say, my stomach's in my back. If you go to Cook County Jail, don't prepare for any fights, although you will get into fights. Statistically, you probably will. And of course there's going to be grievances. You're in a jail, but this is the number one irritant inside that jail. Hunger. Hunger. My stomach's in my back, they say. Everybody's starving. If you're going to go to Cook County Jail, you got a court case coming up. You know you got to go to county. I hope you ain't 255 pounds like me. I'm probably 249 now. I think I was 249. I hope you ain't 6'4", 250 or 6'5", 300. You're going to be on a diet. Okay? That diet's going to consist of things that have no nutrients. It's just all soy filler and bologna. They get this weird processed bologna shit, and it comes in these giant paint cans. It's about the size of a paint can, right? And it comes out in a log. And they give that to you for breakfast with 2 pieces of bread, and then they give you 2 slices of it for lunch with 4 pieces of bread and a little bag of pretzels. And you might get like this little packet of like sugar, and then the dinner tray. They used to have hot breakfast, and then lunch was the bologna. Now it's for breakfast, guys. Look at the moon. Damn, I wish I could show the moon. There's the sun. Damn, where is it? It's way up higher, okay. There it is, right above my head. Alright, Zoom is not supported for this feature. Whatever. Alright, this is a long video. I'm telling you, I've starved, and it'll change everything. People will risk getting stomped out by other men to steal a little bit of food from them. People will risk anything to grab, pop it in their mouth, and move on. It's like that. So I think you start to eat yourself away. Hunger is the worst thing in the world, and that might be what comes in Armageddon. That might be the house of cards they're setting up here in America. I'm not sure. The old man told me, don't worry, David, nothing ever happens. They all get all worked up. When we were kids, they were talking about nuclear war. It's blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I know, but the Bible. But he missed it. My generation, this shit is crazy. These computers, just think about where we're at compared to the 1970s with technology. I'll leave it at that. Everybody, God bless.